Indiana Jones is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Like this new movie, Indiana Jones 5, I think is going to suck, and I'll explain why. First of all, the name. The name sucks. It's complete garbage. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. What kind of stupid name is that? The old movies had Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. That's got to be the coolest name I have ever heard in my entire life. It just completely sparks your imagination. It makes you go, oh my God, that is so awesome. I wonder what's in the Temple of Doom. And the other ones, even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It's a little stupid, but at least it fits the theme of adventure and doesn't sound stupid like Dial of Destiny. It sounds like a fan-made thing. It doesn't even sound like an official thing. It sounds like fan fiction. What else? Disney's making. They completely ruined Star Wars. They completely ruined Marvel. They completely ruined every single franchise they touch. They fill everything with woke identity politics. They're all complete garbage. Every movie they make is complete garbage. I don't think they can make a single good movie anymore, and this is definitely not it. We all like completely put on these rose-tinted glasses. We just say, "Oh, well, I love Indiana Jones, so it's gonna be great." Shut up, shut up. Yeah, it's gonna be great. No, Disney's making it. It's gonna be complete garbage, right? What's next? Harrison Ford's age. He's 80 years old. I don't want to watch an action hero who's 80 years old. That's gonna suck. What's he gonna do? He's gonna, oh, I'm gonna walk with my walking stick. Oh, it should be called Indiana Jones in the Retirement Home. He should not be playing this part. I love Indiana Jones and I love Harrison Ford, but you either recast him or you don't make the movie. Okay? Like Chris Pratt could make a great Indiana Jones. You do not want to keep 80-year-old Harrison Ford. Imagine if Sean Connery was playing James Bond when he was 80 years old. That would look stupid. No one would watch that. I mean, maybe I would watch that, but that's besides the point. Okay? You see, Indiana Jones is meant to be like James Bond. It's supposed to be recast. I mean, I don't want a recast necessarily. I wish we could still have Harrison Ford with his young age. But James Bond, he's meant to be youthful. It's meant to. Indiana Jones is meant to be like that. It's supposed to be like James Bond. We can't have the same actor playing it for until he's 80 years old. That's just stupid. What else? Nazis? Really? You're going with Nazis again? The beauty of Temple of Doom was it was a completely original story. And The Last Crusade, it's a great movie, but it did what every sequel does and just did what the first movie did. It didn't take any risks. The story was the exact same. It's just I want original stories. I want original bad guys. I want original everything. And they're just going with Nazis again. Really? We've had 3 movies now with Nazis as the bad guys? Really? You can't come up with anything better? 3 of the 5 movies? And the Russians pretty much play the exact same role as some big militaristic bad guy. So that you're telling me 4 out of the 5 movies will have some big militaristic bad guy. 3 of the 5, it'll be Nazis. Are you kidding? Like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, they had this evil death cult. That was awesome. Why can't we do that? Why does it always have to be Nazis? Like, and it's not even the 30s anymore. It's the 60s. You couldn't come up with like a better idea? You couldn't have him in Vietnam War or something, fighting the Viet Cong? Well, why Nazis? Really? Like, can't you've got so many writers, so many creatives in the company, and you can't come up with anything more creative than Nazis. Why are these people in charge of the series? I could come up with anything. Why can't he fight ninjas or something? Ninjas would be awesome. Imagine Indiana Jones fighting ninjas or pirates. I don't know. Something. Just have him in some new locations, not in the same stupid locations fighting Nazis. This is so boring. Yeah, it just pisses me off. What else? Time travel? If there's going to be time travel in the movie, what kind of, like, why do they keep having to jump the shark? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Well, the original movies, they had just religious themes. It didn't get very crazy beyond faces melting off. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it said aliens. And then what else? The UFO flies off and does all this? That's stupid. I mean, I don't hate the movie, but I mean, why jump into sci-fi? And now we're getting into time travel. How do you? Indiana Jones is not supposed to have time travel. What are you doing? Why? What else? I mean, the new trailer, it's got all this feminist bullcrap. Oh, I'm a strong, whatever, independent, blah blah blah. I'll play the clip here.
How did you end up like this?
Flaming, resourceful, daring, beautiful, self-sufficient!
Like, I mean, why do you have to put that in? You can't just. It's ridiculous, and there's no strong male character in the movie. I mean, we've got a female character, 80-year-old Harrison Ford, and a child, from what I've seen, and like Sala. Those are all either old or not. There's no male characters for the male audience to look up to. I mean, at least Kingdom of the Crystal Skull had Mutt Williams, and Mutt Williams, I mean, Shia LaBeouf kind of sucks, but at least you could look up to him. You didn't in Harrison Ford, he was still pretty young. He was still like 50 or 60. You could still believe he could punch people, and you could still sort of look up to him. You had both those characters, which could fill the void of emptiness. I'm gonna be looking up to the villain. The villains are going to be cool, much cooler than the heroes in this movie, and that's a problem. The hero should always be more cool than the villains, or else I think you've screwed up. Um, the reviews for this movie are sort of backing up what I'm about to say. I think hopefully it's not complete garbage, but I mean Doomcock was probably right. This movie likely has a scene, or maybe they reshot it, I'm not sure, where Indiana Jones, young Indiana Jones dies and is replaced by the woman. Might not happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not placing bets, but it'll likely happen, and either that or Indiana Jones will just be berated the entire movie. There are leaks online, sort of. I don't know how credible, that the whole movie will be crapping on Indy for stealing artifacts from natives or something. That is stupid. Don't take a giant dump on my favorite character. I don't support this at all. The reviews, it's at 50% right now. I don't know what to say. I sort of predicted this. I mean, looking at the trailer, the whole thing is CGI, right? This is not what Indiana Jones should be. It should be practical filmmaking, right? It should be basically creativity on full display. Steven Spielberg isn't directing this movie. That is a ginormous problem. Steven Spielberg pretty much brought everything. It can't be Indiana Jones without Steven Spielberg and George Lucas's story ideas. You can't have Indiana Jones without that. It's part of the package. They brought Indiana Jones. They created it, and without it, it feels like an empty shell, and I don't feel like watching it. This new movie doesn't have the original creators. It's a lifeless CGI thing made by a corporation. Do not go watch this movie. The only reason I can think to watch this movie is because A, it brings merchandise, and B, it brings talk about the films. Like maybe more people will go and watch the original movies. That's the only good thing this can do. Other than that, it is going to take a giant dump on my favorite franchise. And it costs $300 million to make. That is a huge budget. They are going to crash and bomb hard. There is no way they can make up that much money. There is not enough interest in Indiana Jones, believe it or not. The average moviegoer, the average person doesn't care much about Indiana Jones. This isn't Star Wars. This isn't like some, like maybe among movie buffs and older people. Other than that, it is, no one really cares. They are not going to make back the $1 billion probably needed to recoup from this, especially after the 50% they got on Rotten Tomatoes. There is no way they're going to make back the money, and it's going to be a complete failure. And I hope Disney sees this, and they I hope this is a turning point in the company where they stop putting all this messaging. They actually care about their products. Hopefully in the future, they'll actually, if they make any more Indiana Jones movies, first of all, they listen to the fans, and I don't mean pander to the fans, I mean don't make a dog crap movie. Hopefully, this is just me, this is my wish. If I ran the world, I would give the movie, let Steven Spielberg and Lucas have one more go. I know they probably don't want to, and sadly, John Williams probably won't score another movie, and maybe there would have to be a recast or something, like Chris Pratt. I just wish they, I wish they would actually care. I wish there was an original story. I wish the movie wasn't just complete garbage. I know this movie's gonna be garbage. I might still watch it just because I enjoy this franchise and I enjoy the merchandising and what it might bring. But the movies themselves are taking a giant dump on the series, and there's no way this movie's going to be good. Even if it was like an 8 out of 10, which it's not going to be. Even if it was a 10 out of 10, I would still feel bad going to see this because it's a lifeless husk of a movie. And I would just feel bad watching it. Well, those are my thoughts. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. Are you going to see this movie? Smash that like and subscribe button. See ya.